Today's topic is how to deal or how to cope with negative world events.
Yes, indeed. So, there's always something to be worried about. And there's, sometimes it feels like there's a lot more than, than other times. And so we wanted to give you a little bit of encouragement and some tools and an analogy that will help you to cope with whatever's going on in the world that might be triggering you right now. So if you think of your life as you're driving somewhere, so you're driving on a road, and if you've ever driven on a motorway or a highway, you'll have probably felt the effects of big lorries, big trucks or semis, if you're in America, rushing past you, overtaking you, and your vehicle shivering, right? And you've got to maintain control of your wheel and keep your eyes on the road in front of you, or you could get wobbly. And if you were to look at the vehicle that's going past you, you're likely to go into it. So in order to stay on the road, you want to keep your hands on your steering wheel, your focus on the road in front of you, and really focus on that as that vehicle goes past and you feel the effects of it. Now, this is the same thing. So the equivalent of this is, as you are going about your life, the vehicles rushing past you and affecting your car, your vehicle, are the world events that you hear about, and anything else that triggers you. And so as other people do things or don't do things, as you hear about news that is upsetting or worrying, that's the shakiness of the vehicle going past you. And the key right there is to not put your focus on it, because then that's driving into the vehicle.
And I know that there's a drive, or there's that feeling that I should be doing something, even when you're on the road or something. So I know that example of the trucks going by, you're wanting to take your eye off the road, or if it's not a truck, if there's a car that's in the lane that's stalled, or if there's been an accident or something, that it's real easy for us, to have our attention averted. And there's that sense of, I need to be doing something. I need to get involved in this. I need to get engaged with that. And I think that same feeling is there when we hear about negative world events. What should I do? What should we do with that?
Right. And so, the first thing to remind yourself of is, if there is something you can actually do to make a difference, fantastic. Do that. So if you can volunteer or take any kind of action that's going to improve things or help those who are in trouble or anything like that, that's fantastic. Go ahead and do that. Be sure that you're in a calm, strategic state and not an emotional state, of course, before you make decisions and take actions. So whenever we're feeling emotionally triggered, whenever we're feeling any negative emotion, the prefrontal cortex, which is the part of the brain where we do our cognitive thinking, is offline. So blood drains from that. So therefore, you want to make sure you're in a good feeling state, a calm state, before you make any strategic decisions. In addition to that, and I just came up with this phrase earlier, is that to remind yourself that doing nothing is never doing nothing. And the reason for that is because when you are focusing on feeling good, whatever that may be, whether that is doing physical exercise or reading a book or playing a game or just sitting, enjoying the sunshine or listening to music or sleeping, whatever you're doing, the action you're taking right then is keeping your vehicle on the road. You're keeping your hands on the wheel. So the equivalent of the steering, so there's a big truck going past, your car is shuddering. So that is the world event that makes you feel triggered. You keeping your hands on the steering wheel and your focus on the road in front of you is you controlling keeping control of your own brain and body chemistry. And that means focusing on what you do enjoy, what you do, what you appreciate, things you love, things that are funny, music you love, that kind of thing. Because where we're putting our focus, that's neurons connecting in the neocortex of your brain, and those connections are triggering matching chemicals. So again, focusing on things you love or are excited about or find funny or that you enjoy, that is not just about how you're feeling, that is your brain and body chemistry and keeping your prefrontal cortex online, your cognitive thinking online.
So the best thing that we can be doing in the moment is focusing on our own emotional state in the moment.
Right. And because as you do that, when you're feeling good, you have access to your cognitive thinking. That means, so when you're feeling good, you know that blood is reaching the prefrontal cortex of your brain. You may find from that state that you may come up with solutions and options and ideas and creative opportunities that you hadn't thought of before, that you couldn't think of before when you didn't have access to that part of your brain.
Yeah, so we're not acting out of that place of fear or the trigger that's
Right.
there. And I know that this is something that we have talked about in previous videos, and it's something that people can also be doing. But some of the other work that can be happening along with, as you're noticing the trigger, you can also then engage in the work of discovering where those triggers are coming from earlier in our childhood. And you can take a look at some of the other videos that are addressing finding those early childhood triggers that are actually triggering us in the moment.
And changing them.
Absolutely. Yeah. But this is about, what do we do in the moment when we're hearing about those negative world events?
Yes, indeed.
And we also want to let folks know that if you would like some additional help with that, we do offer some private session work that people can engage in. And again, take a look in the comments or in the description below for that information and for the links to access that.
Right. Yes. So we provide a lot, all our videos, and there's a lot of content that we put out there that empowers you to do the work yourself. So you can do it yourself, but for those who need a little extra help, we offer one-to-one sessions, and you can find those, the details of that on our website as well. All right. So have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.